Good morning, comrades, and welcome to day 4 of the Pikmin 2 No Death Run. I'm Multi-Game Master 1 reporting in, and today our travels are going to take us back into the Awakening Wood. So let's head back in there and do this thing. Now before we get things started, there are a couple of things from yesterday that I need to show you guys. But that'll probably have to wait until a little bit later, especially since now we may get a cutscene at this point since we're already back in the Awakening Wood. And there is a cutscene, a transmission from the ship. Good morning. The white Pikmin are lodged with the purple ones in my hull. The two types are sleeping well and do not quarrel. I have made them most comfortable. You can call out the white Pikmin by standing in the light beneath me and pressing A. On a separate note, be wary of overworking yourselves. Taking a break can be courageous too. To retire early for the day, press the positive button and then press right on the directional pad. This I will go ahead and demonstrate. So press the positive button and then right on the directional pad, and you'll be given the option to go to sunset and therefore end the day. Although I'm really not going to do something like this if I'm not too busy with certain objectives that I need to do within an area. I do have something else planned in mind. What I plan to do is to gather as much berries as possible, so that way I can get more of that ultra spicy spray. You never know when we might need more of that in our future travels. Now let's have Louie come with us and at least gather one of our Pikmin out here. Now, a couple of things to show from yesterday. Remember from the President's email last night stating that we can hold left or right on the directional pad for a quote-unquote close-up view of the action? Well, this I will go ahead and demonstrate. So hold left or right on the directional pad, and the camera will move at a new angle like this, so you can see further ahead of you a little bit better. Although it really isn't all that useful, especially since, well, about 95% of the time you can already see what's ahead of you anyway. You can use it as often as you like to, but I just don't find it to be that useful. The other thing I need to show you guys is something that I completely forgot about from yesterday. Remember before when the ship said that you could leave the cave anytime you wanted to? Well, the reason why I forgot to show that is because I was a little bit pressed for time. See, I was very worried that I wouldn't get everything that I wanted to done within yesterday, but now with it being a brand new day, I won't have to worry about that, and we'll show you guys this. Before we start, however, I'm gonna kill this enemy right here and use him as a means of salvage. Okay, Pikmin, go ahead and carry that. Don't mind the female shear grubs. They do no harm against you. Okay, now to show off how you can leave the cave. Press the positive button and then right on the directional pad, and you'll be given the option to quote-unquote give up and escape. Abandon your treasure and escape? Yes. There is a pro and con to this. The pro is that Olimar, Louie, and the Pikmin will be escorted to safety on the planet's surface. But the con, however, is that all of the treasure that you have salvaged, including enemy bugs, is left behind from the ship. My best advice for when you want to leave the cave early for any reason is to do it if you're under an emergency. Like for instance when Olimar and Louie are both low on health, or if you're running seriously low on Pikmin. That's just about the best source of advice that I can give at this point. Now with that explained, let's get the day started. First thing we'll do is have Louie gather the white Pikmin together and have them deal with the two poisonous walls that we have seen yesterday. Let's see, which way should we go first, right or left? Let's go to the left first, just to get it out of the way. There's the wall dead ahead of us. Pikmin, open wide and say ah. Now tear down this wall. While they do that, I'm going to have Olimar gather the purple and red Pikmin together. Also, I believe at this point we should get some new enemies over here by the berry plants. And we do. These are ravenous whisker pillars. They don't pose any threat against Olimar, Louie, and the Pikmin, but what they do is nom on the berries from the berry plants. Whenever they get the chance, they just go nom 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 nom. My best source of advice for dealing with them is to do so right away whenever you spot them, so that way you can help yourself to the berries without ever wasting the opportunity of getting at the berries yourself. Okay, now let's get the red Pikmin out here. At this point, what we can do is focus on boosting the Pikmin population as well as getting more of those berries. Alright, Pikmin, you carry that back. We'll go ahead and get these pellet posies as well. Also, I think the shear grubs should be back at this point. And there they are. Nice work, Pikmin. Let's get these pellet posies as well. And while we do that, let's check on the white Pikmin. Okay, they're almost done with the fence. We'll check on them in a bit. You know, there's something rather interesting to point out. Remember the Forest of Hope from the last game? Well, the Awakening Wood has a similar level environment to that of the Forest of Hope when you think about it. There are similar places that we've been to before, like right over here is the same spot in which Olimar and the Pikmin first landed in order to explore the Forest of Hope. And right over there are general places that resemble a big open field. And there were places in which there was water, and now it's just completely dried up. It's like, well, when you think about it, in between Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2, the planet has gone through some evolutionary changes, and therefore has resulted in new features within the forest. It's cool that we get to revisit old levels from the past, and therefore get a sense as to what new features within the forest can be found as we come across them. But at the same time, I feel as though that Nintendo probably should have come up with newer levels for us to explore, like the Valley of Repose, for instance. But that's just me. I'm not saying that recycling old levels is a bad thing. I'm just saying that with new levels, it probably would make things more interesting throughout the game. And I'm pretty sure you guys have differing views about this. But like I said, it's just my own thought. Okay, now from here we should gather more of these berries so that we can get more of that ultra spicy spray. Okay, that's going back. Now while they do that, I'm going to check out this path over here that's just been uncovered by the white Pikmin. Okay, I think I see a piece of treasure dead ahead of us. And also, oh, I see you right there. I know what you're trying to do. I'm not paranoid. I see you right there. You come on out. I know an enemy when I see one. Kill him, Pikmin. Kill him. Kill him. Get wrecked. You're not eating any of my Pikmin. Okay, now let's have the Pikmin make their way over here and construct the bridge. It's very cool to see the Pikmin construct the bridge bit by bit within a second. See, in the last game, whenever you had 100 Pikmin and they're constructing a bridge, it would take them about 2 seconds to construct one piece of the bridge. In this game, they can do it within at least 1 second. It's quite an improvement from the last game. Okay, now let's have the Pikmin carry this back, as well as the treasure. This is the other half of the globe, by the way. We've seen this before. Fascinating! This object is highly similar to the one you found in the Valley of Repose. By examining this further, I may be able to extrapolate new planetary data. Sounds good. Now we'll go ahead and have the Pikmin carry this back. Real quick, let's check on the white Pikmin. How are they doing? Okay, they're almost done. We'll check on them again a little bit later. You know, collecting that treasure back there reminds me of something cool that's happened to me back in high school. Back in the 10th grade, I took a geography class and we learned many interesting things about the countries all around the world. But surprisingly, the only thing we were quizzed on were the locations of all of the countries to be found within the world. North America, South America, Africa, etc. It was a fun and challenging class to take in high school, but in retrospect, it probably could have been improved by the amount of difficulty, in which case we would be quizzed on an interesting fact about each country. But it's not my class, it's the professor's class. And that class is taught however way possible. In the end, I did end up passing the class with a solid A. It was a cool class overall. And that ends my story of geography. Or the class, if you will. Now over here we have a dead end and also some stepping stones. Watch what happens carefully here. When you toss Pikmin onto one of the stepping stones, one of the stones goes down into the ground, whereas the other one lifts high up into the air. It can be thought of as... oh wait, I'll probably get into that a little bit later, because the treasure's made it back already. 200 Pokos. Name is Geographic Projection. This hemisphere also contains a hidden microchip. I will attempt to decrypt the stored data. Decoding complete. As I surmised, this chip contains additional topographic data. The data has been inputted into my database. I shall name it the Survey Chart. Sounds good, Ship. So now we'll be able to explore a new area tomorrow, and with that, we've recovered 30% of the company debt. Now the next thing we can do at this point is to pretty much just focus on the berries. So let's toss the Pikmin up here and see if we can get our hands on the purple berry that we've seen before. Up you go, Pikmin. And yes, I do realize that I have left that one Pikmin behind in the area with the stepping stones, but I'll go back and pick him up. Make sure he's reunited with his friends. Okay, up you go, Pikmin. And we'll have these guys give him a hand. There we go. Nicely done. Okay, now Pikmin, you stay right here. Actually, let's not have Louie go back for that Pikmin, because it would probably be a bad idea. We'll just have Olimar do it instead. That Pikmin does not deserve to be left behind. It deserves to be reunited with friends. 100 Pokos. Name is Chance Totem. And also, the first purple berry has made it back. So the ship will be able to analyze it and see what we can do with it. Astonishing! This purple berry contains an ultra bitter essence. It does not appear to have any monetary value, but I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. Will do, Ship. Now let's go back for that Pikmin. No man, soldier, or Pikmin in this case deserves to be left behind. Where's he? There you are. Up you go. Now let's see. We've gotten the treasure. Are there any purple berries up here? There is not. Okay, well, we'll just send the Pikmin back down here for now, and then we'll have Olimar get the group together. While he does that, there is something rather interesting to note about the forest, and it's right over here. You see this electric fence right here? If you touch it with Olimar and or Louie, you will receive a critical amount of damage from it, as it does pack quite a punch. And if the Pikmin touch it, they will get zapped and instantly die. I would show that if this wasn't a no death run, but since it is, I'm not going to show that off because it's just too horrifying to see. Best source of advice is to take extreme caution around electric fences. Now back to a few things about what I was saying from earlier. The stepping stones that we saw can pretty much be thought of as scales, in which one plate is weighed down because it has objects on top of it, and therefore they apply mass to the plate, so it goes down, and the other plate just rises into the air because it has no mass applied to it, given the fact that there are no objects on top of it. It's pretty much a basic scientific example to think of in this instance. And also, about the chance totem, what's so chancy about it? It's just a giant dice block. But then again, when you think about it, when you're trying to land on a particular space, I guess it is up to chance with the dice block. And pretty much die can be useful for playing board games like, for instance, Trouble, Chutes and Ladders, and even video games like Mario Party. That's just my thought on die. used in games in general. Okay, now I believe at this point we've covered just about everything we could within the Awakening Wood, so from here on out I'm just going to focus on gathering as many berries as I can, and I'm not sure if I'm going to speed up instances like this whenever I don't have any interesting things to say, but I'll think about it during editing. As of right now, I'm not really too sure about it at this point. Okay, let's gather our Pikmin together. There are also some, well, I guess I'll get into that a little later. Too many cutscenes in this game, jeez. We can now use that purple liquid to our advantage. Captain Alamar, I have completed my research on the purple berries you discovered. Behold, the Ultra Bitter Spray. It's untested, but I believe it will be highly effective. Approach enemies and press 1 to spray them. When necessary, I can produce 1 bottle of spray from 10 berries. Press the positive button to contact me and confirm your berry count by pressing left on the directional pad. This I'll show off real quick. So again, it's the positive button, then left on the directional pad, and you'll see the Ultra Bitter Spray menu with 3 numbers. One corresponding to the amount of spray you have, another corresponding to the amount of berries you have, and the last one corresponding to the total amount of berries you need to get some more spray. It's the same as the Ultra Spicy Spray. And I'm not going to demonstrate the Ultra Bitter Spray right away, especially since there are no enemies within the immediate vicinity, but I will find an appropriate place and time to demonstrate it. For right now, we'll just have to make use of it and store it in our bottles that we have. Okay. Wait, Pikmin, come on down here. Alright. We're running seriously low on time. It's already close to sunset. Sunsets are awesome to look at night. Sometimes I like to go down to the beach and just stare at the sunset, and it just reminds me of having a sense of peace. It's just so cool to watch now and then. Though, in all honesty, I think the end of the day just represents some kind of sadness. Only a tiny portion of it though. Mostly you just feel relaxed whenever you're watching the sunset. Alright, now let's get some more of the berries. Hopefully I can get at least 2 batches of Ultra Bitter Spray before we leave here, in preparation for the new area that we're going to explore tomorrow. And if I don't, then it's fine. 1 batch of Ultra Bitter Spray should be good enough for us. Wait, did that just grow back? It didn't. I thought I heard something. Whatever. Okay, nicely done, Pikmin. Now we can... Wait, where's the one Pikmin? There he is. I gotta remember to slow down a little bit. Make sure the Pikmin can catch up. We are running low on time, so we better wrap things up. Okay. Let's see if more of the purple berries have grown back. That should be enough, Pikmin. Oh, come on, are you serious? I've waited a minute for the berries to grow back. Okay. Forget that. Let's just gather the rest of the Pikmin together and prepare to move out. 10 seconds. Wait, they didn't get this berry. White Pikmin, you carry that back. Quickly. Okay, so I couldn't get 2 batches of Ultra Bitter Spray. And the purple berry still hasn't grown back. Well, it's fine. 1 batch should be good enough. And plus we have plenty of Ultra Spicy Spray. So we'll be better prepared for tomorrow. Okay, 2 seconds left. All of my Pikmin are together. 1. And 0. Day's over. So tomorrow we'll be able to explore a brand new area on the planet. But for now, we must rest. After a long, hard day today. Even though we didn't get much treasure to begin with, we just focused mainly on the berries and such. But at least it helps. Also, I like how the enemies are trying to attack Olimar and Louie when the fact is they're in their ship, safe and sound from all threats of danger. Those enemy bugs down there are so inferior and stupid. Anyhow, today's report, funds earned, we've racked up 300 Pokos today, bringing our total up to 3,242. The Pikmin population is on the rise, and not a single Pikmin has been lost today. Not really a whole lot has happened today, so I guess we really didn't have to worry about me losing Pikmin at all. Mail from the President. Olimar, good work so far. I hereby promote you to Perennial Manager. Press C to divide up work and the negative button to delegate more to your subordinate leader. Hope all goes smoothly. Subordinate leader? I hope he's talking about Louie. Of course, then again, we could probably think of Louie as Olimar's partner since he has an equal opportunity to lead Pikmin as well. In any event, Day 4 of our exploration has concluded, so it's time to end things off for now. Tomorrow, we're going to explore a brand new area on the planet, see if we can find new species of Pikmin, and also some treasure in the process as well. Until then, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Multigame Master 1 over and out, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Day 5. Have a good night.